Welcome back, everyone. Today I bring you another match in the WARNO League playoffs. This time we are in Division 2, and this is between Blitz-War and GoldenPanzer. If I'm sounding a bit different, I'm sorry, but I am a bit sick, and hope it will be alright. So let's see what our players have brought into the first game. You can see it's on Hesse duel. On the right hand side in blue we have Blitz-War playing the East German 4th Mot Schützen. Recently nerfed after the, well, pretty absurd heli rushes you could do with this division. I mean, you could do the heli rushes with a lot of divisions, but with 4th it was just absolutely ridiculous. And on the left hand side in red we have GoldenPanzer playing the 35th VDV Air Assault Division, or Brigade rather. Well, this obviously got also hit by the helicopter nerfs, though to be fair their infantry was buffed at the same time, so no. It's actually kind of fair. I would say it's overall it's even better, because I mean even before you wanted to use your helicopters defensively anyway, unless you did a helicopter rush, and that was always a stupid thing. So with them having better infantry, their Desantniki in the BMD got a sniper rifle, so they are quite a bit better now. We can see Blitz-War taking a bit of time to deploy for some reason. So let's see what GoldenPanzer is putting down. We have a BRDM to the south, Spetsnaz GRU into the bottom sector. Sign. Interesting. Why is it called Sign? Ah, it's the Soviet designations, I guess. Yeah, so Spetsnaz going here into this building. Fairly defensive deployment by the Spetsnaz GRU. I mean, it makes sense because 4th also has forward deployed, so 4th is actually a pretty good counter pick to any airborne division, because you can counter their forward deploy with your own forward deploy, but you have a little bit more heavy stuff in your division as well. Like you have some sort of tanks, you know. Even though it's only T-55s, but then again, against an airborne division, you don't really need any better tanks. You have an Igla and a Concourse, so yeah, very defensive deployment on the bottom side, which, to be fair, also makes sense. 35th doesn't really want to push on the bottom side, and yeah, you either want to push in the center or on the top side. And we have infantry command. Pretty sure it will it's just gonna deploy to capture Paul and then move forward, capture the other zones. Another infantry command to capture Anna at the top side, and a Desantniki with a Metis, and then a BRDM at the absolute north part of the map. So yeah, again, very late deployment, so pretty sure he's gonna do a center push. Yeah, so we have a bunch of infantry here, 2 Iglas, only 1 Spetsnaz though, surprisingly enough. Spetsnaz GRU Concourse in the robots. Yeah, also thought about playing a deck like that. I haven't played it yet though, but you know, this, like, you get double Concourse from one card. It's a bit more expensive, and the robot has bad stealth, but it has smoke, so it is a pretty capable vehicle. Then we have 2 Desantniki, so those are not the ones that were buffed. Those are the 7-man squads. And the Desantniki Metis. No, actually he removes 1 Concourse. Interesting. Blitz-War, now starting his deployment finally, also has 1 forward deployed infantry command. Uses just a bunch of SPWs. Okay, let's see whether he will keep that. 1 Aufklärer going to the top side. So seems to be that there will be a pretty big clash in the center. Also, Blitz-War, by the way, absolutely triggering me by having a deck with 49 out of 50 activation points. Bruh. Also weird to see him not bring a MiG-29 against 35th. And only 4 coups. I mean, he will have to be really on top of his anti-seed micro, because this is really, really lackluster air defense. And Golden has quite a lot of planes. Then again, the MiG-27M was nerfed to 2 per card, which makes sense. I had never understood why it was buffed to 3 per card. It was already a very good plane and a very good card that most of the people took that played divisions that had them, and then they were randomly buffed to 3 per card. So it's still a strong unit choice. Like he has 4 AT planes, 2 OGBs, and 2 seed planes. One of the best seed planes in the game. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure whether only taking the MiG-21 AA card is enough for the fighters, because they're cool for sniping helicopters, but against planes, well, we will see. Okay, so we have some more deployment. Recon Mi-2, Fargo ATGM, going to the bottom side. 2 of them actually. I don't really like those. They're forward deployed and they have more veterancy, but they crucially lack the range that the Conquerors gets. So that's why I still prefer the Conquerors more, honestly, most of the time. Aufklärer, yeah, well, makes sense. 2 more SPWs down in the bottom side. And yeah, he still sticks with, how many is that? 6 SPWs? Sorry for the interruption. Package arrived. So where were we? Yeah, okay, so we have the SPW still going to the center. Yeah, that's still 6 of them. That's quite a lot. Sprengtaucher most likely will also be routed to the center. We have here 1 FS-Jäger Metis, 1 MG FS-Jäger. You fairly rarely see them. 2 Max-Vet forward deployed Strelas. Oh, taking him at Max-Vet is a bit rough, because you only get 6 of them. Pack MT-12, very aggressively going to the front line very aggressively, which is, I mean, I guess you can do that. SPW on the top side to capture the point, though. I mean, maybe he wants to have a little bit more points, though the difference in points is not that high. Yeah, it's only 5 points more. Oh, it's more. It's 10 points more. But still. Am I right? Can I calculate? Oh, I think that's 110. That's 95. Yeah, that's 15 points more, bruh. Yeah. Mathematics. Okay, there's actually 2 Aufklärer in the south now. And a Strela 2M. Don't really know why 2 Aufklärer. You had so much recon. Okay, he really wants to know whether something's going on the bottom side. Yeah, I guess he wants to just be giga aggressive towards his enemy. Which can be a good idea if your enemy doesn't expect it. If he expects it, you will be in a pretty bad position. And considering there is quite a lot of deployment going to the bottom, to the center, sorry, from GoldenPanzer as well, this could end really badly. Also deploying a MiG-29 early on. Yeah, I don't think this is really important now, with 4th really losing a lot of their availability on their helicopters, which I think is a bit too harsh. You don't really need to start with a fighter, because like it's very unlikely that your enemy is going to do a helicopter rush. Conquerors really needs to deploy. Don't know what is going on here. Infantry being rerouted. The Conquerors are now finally also being rerouted. Infantry here still going in. Yeah, 2 SPWs against 1 BRDM on the bottom side. The SPWs will obviously win. And now we'll just roll through. Though I don't know whether there will be much point. BTRD here needs to deploy. Yeah, it does deploy, so we have the Conquerors and the BTRD to fight off against the well, the US. The KPV is maybe not the most important target, but still can be hurtful. This KPVT is a dangerous weapon. SPW definitely a vehicle you want to take out. And yeah, I don't really know what the point of this SPW rush in the center was, because now he has a bunch of SPWs here, but what is he gonna do with them? He can't really drive into his enemy because he has AT. and 80 GMs. And he can also bring a helicopter, which he already does. So, sorry, need to take the cat off the table. That was a very weird opener, not gonna lie. Infantry here losing and retreating. On the top side also nothing going on, at the bottom side SPW is just driving through and that's it. But the point is secured by GoldenPanzer and well, he's just at a +1 tick until the SPW captures the zone here. MiG-21 does get a run on the Mi-24V and kills it off. So this is actually something the MiG-21 bis are now fairly decent at. I mean, they were already good enough at it before the nerf, in my opinion, because they were just fairly cheap. But now they're even better at gun, or like not gun running, but killing helicopters with guns and their shotgun missiles. But obviously losing it in the process. And considering those are his only fighters, this can be very dangerous in the long run. Then again, GoldenPanzer doesn't have that many helicopters. Only 5 attack helicopters, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't take the Afghansi. Oh no, the Afghansi can't even come in the Mi-24 in this deck. It's the Recon. Oh yeah, he actually has a Recon in the Mi-24 as well. So let's see. Let's see how it will work out. Scratchet dying. Scratchet now also should be a pretty good support platform against infantry and light vehicles. More infantry being deployed here by Blitz-War, but can't really get in for now. MiG-21 unfortunately kills the Igla, but not the Spetsnaz, though it has to retreat because it's only half HP, so it's something at least. But even then, it's like only 2 infantry squads and everything else is just SPWs. Nice reinforcements going, by the way. Okay, one BRDM killed one of the SPWs. Desantniki BMD, yeah, those are the ones with the SVD. By the way, if you look at their model in the deck building, because the weapons here are in the wrong order, they will be holding the RPG and the SVD will be on the back of one of the soldiers already with the AKS or the RPK. That's a bit stupid, but also totally just unimportant. FSCger Führer though gets in. He has smoke now, so he could use it to smoke off his command. Doesn't look like he's doing it. WARNO players really aren't used to that, because this hasn't been a thing for the longest time, and yeah, he just dies, and the LGB comes in for a good measure. Coup in the back deployed already, another coup coming in, definitely a good idea. A bit too late maybe, bringing in the second coup, but to be fair, he also needed way more infantry after his deployment basically consisting only of SPWs. And now there's just a bunch of infantry deploying into the center by GoldenPanzer, and the push has just horrendously failed. Just to the Desantniki at the top being... What's this route here? Yeah, there was definitely some double click on Desantniki and then just attack move here, and he forgot about the one at the top. Robot should really be smoking off and retreating to save it. Yeah, really unfortunate that the Desantniki there aren't being used more effectively, but you know, this can happen in stressful situations. MiG-29 circling around, definitely a good thing to do. Needs to protect his valuable infantry against the MiG-21 bombers. Also, by the way, a weird choice taking the Napalm MiG-23 because it's a high altitude bomber. It's like high altitude bombers are only really useful when they have a big payload like the Tornado, and have like good stats like ECM and stuff like that. And then on top of that, like Napalm barely does anything. So it's a really weird choice, especially considering you have the absolutely insane, what is it, the MiG-27 dive bomber that you now get only 2 per card, but has, I think, 6 500 kilogram bombs. Like, this thing can delete everything. So yeah, really don't know. I understand why he didn't take the AT plane. Blitz-War did this, but yeah, weird choice. Anyway, Nonna coming in, targeting the Fagodo really should be brought up further to the front. Like you can see, the spread is really way too big. Also, I would always use the Nonnas in pairs of 2s at least. And having a command nearby with artillery is just always such a good thing, in my opinion. You just benefit greatly from it. Right now, like, he only has infantry commands, so this is one of the big issues I have with using 2 infantry commands in the opener. Like, you have 2 infantry commands sitting around that basically do nothing. If this would have been some sort of mobile command, he could be driving back and upweighting his artillery, and then it would be doing something at least. A helicopter will delete the SPW. Bottom side now pretty much completely open. MT-12 is deploying to the combat area and not to the flanking area at the bottom side, though it is pretty much empty for both sides, so it doesn't really matter. Top side also nothing going on, just a BRDM staring at the US and vice versa. Pioneer here deployed very defensively. Don't really know why. Desant Razvedka and Svesna's GRU engage in the Sprengtaucher, or for now it's only the Desant Razvedka. But the Sprengtaucher will certainly die here. Pioneer and SPW moving up though. Infantry here in the center just sitting around, not being useful. That's pretty bad because he completely deleted all the troops Blitz-War had, but then he couldn't utilize it. And now Blitz-War has brought up more infantry and is advancing again. So that's really bad. I mean, I guess he was too afraid to just advance over the open into the forest, which, you know, is why I would still say that you should just attack here with your infantry divisions. This is the perfect engagement area for infantry. You have the town here, which is not that great, but the town here is just so good. The tanks have had such a hard time, or any long-range support has such a hard time to engage your infantry here. And then you have the town on the other side for positioning your team weapons. So, yeah, just very weird. Should have really deployed only a few units defensively here and then made a big push through the town. And then the thing is, there's obviously another zone here, but if you have control over this town, it's really easy for you to push into Nicholas and into Elena equally. So GoldenPanzer now in a really bad position because, as I said, the advantage of 4th is that you can blunt the advance early on and then build up a lot of good enough fire support later on. And we are basically now at the point where this will start happening. 10 minutes went by, GoldenPanzer didn't get any advantage. Well, okay, technically he has a 4-point advantage, but that really doesn't matter. BTRD robot dying on the bottom side. Conqueror's dying, though a seed coming in and killing one of the coups. That's really bad, though it gets hit by... Did it get hit by a manpad? By manpads? That would be really stupid. But it's definitely possible. Yeah, there's nothing else here. The Strela 10M was too far back, I think. But he killed one coup, so that's definitely a worthy trade. The other one is out of ammo, which is good because it couldn't get targeted, but also it couldn't target anything. Mortars being used to fire at the forest line here. Yeah, I already said it in one of the last casts. Using mortars for firing in an area is really not that good of an idea because the damage is very lackluster. Only if you put like all 3 mortars like on this forest line here, it could be worth it, even though we know it's not because there's nothing in there. But other than that, they'd rather use them to just smoke. That's a way better use case for them. Bottom side now completely empty. Descending BMD sitting here. Would really need more like a Metis in this position. Still 10M and still 2M trying to shoot down the MI-24 VP. So those are the ones with 20% ECM. Pretty good helicopters, though I personally prefer to have the Akulas as like my good helicopters in 35th, and then have just a bunch of cheaper MI-24 Vs, like the ones with the rockets, for example. Because those are also, you know, fairly expensive at 215 points. Though you can see they can survive quite a bit, quite a few missiles, if you're lucky. Descending BMD now just advancing over the open against the Pack MT-12. Yeah, really bad that he didn't take any SPG 9 or NSV card, because he's now really in a bad position in this sector. Because if he would have had the SPG-9 or the NSV, he could position them in this forest line here and use them as long-range support into the sector. Now you can see the only way for him to protect the sector is to move his infantry into this little patch here, forest patch, and we'll just hope that he gets through. Otherwise, he basically loses control of the sector, like on the other side of the smoke. Because now GoldenPanzer is actually using his mortars for smoking. On the top side, by the way, we have an engagement starting. Panzerjäger coming in. Also, by the way, interesting choice to use Panzerjäger playing against 35th, but okay. For whatever reason, he thought this is a unit that he would need. Pack MT12 being used as the long-range fire support, so it gets killed off by the Nona. Still only the one, yeah, the second one coming in now, and even a third one. Wow, that's an overinvestment. Buying the second Nona, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But the third, in a situation like this where you might be pushed in arena, I mean, okay, or in a sign, sorry. We know that the push is still just building up, but if you see your enemy smoking, you should always be prepared that the push is like imminent. Because if your enemy is good, they will use it like that. RM70 being bought in and used to counter battery, though it's mostly hitting supply vehicles. It will kill off one of the supply vehicles, but that's at least something. But will it kill off the Nona? Fairly unlikely. Yeah, RM70 for counter battery is a weird choice, to say the least. Also, by the way, bringing two RM70s with only 2 supply cards is ambitious. Also, we see the first T-55, an AM2B with the long-range missile. More infantry coming in at the bottom side and slowly advancing at the top side. Bringing in a Strela 10M is a very good choice. LGB at the bottom side killing a Mot Schützen SVD. Very good kill and important kill because those were buffed in the last patch. They now have AT launchers as well. So this is a very, very good squad, which I think is a good idea. I'm not a fan of, like, you know, too many units getting sniper rifles or DMRs and AT launchers, but this unit really needed it because it was otherwise basically completely useless. LGB really needs to be retreated. Like, this can be really bad. Okay, luckily he dodges all the shots, but he really needs to retreat it also for it to start reloading. Like, it's just wasting time. What is he doing? It's flying over the EA again. Come on, well, finally it gets retreated because it gets hit. That was really bad. Seed coming in and gets hit. Can't fight anything because the coup still hasn't been reloaded, actually. Whoa, MiG-25 actually being hit by the Strela 2M. That's a rare sight. At the top side, more units coming in to defend for GoldenPanzer, but the 2 Thessaloniki that are already there are deployed way too far back. I mean, you don't want to deploy them too far forward as well, so that they can get killed off by the SPW, but you want them in the town and not just behind the town. Don't really know why. Needs to unload his infantry and use the BMDs independently. The bottom side, finally, the Mi-24 will get reloaded. And it really seems like Blitz-War is slowly but surely advancing. And GoldenPanzer has completely lost the initiative. Like, I mean, using the LGB to kill off a Mot Schützen SVD, like, yeah, it's an important unit to kill, but on the other hand, you're using, like, how many points is it? 300 point LGB to kill off, how many points is it now? Look, yeah, no, it's even less, 50 point infantry unit. You're in a very bad position. Counter battering the mortars. Now, this is actually a pretty decent idea. Counter battering artillery most of the time doesn't work, but if you know that your enemy only has, like, the shitty infantry mortars, counter battering them can be really painful for your enemy because you take away his possibility to have smoke. Now the top side is being captured by a Blitz-War, but the fight for the town itself isn't won yet. He actually has quite a decent advantage, but he has a BMP in the back zone, or not in the back zone, but in the rear of GoldenPanzer. He notices it though, and it loads the descent commander in time. Very well done by him. Oh, he doesn't have AT. I thought he had AT, but he only has the Igla and the smoke grenade. So goes in the helicopter to get rid of the B1. RM70 tries to counter battery again. Again, very weird choice. Like, you know that your enemy has Nonas, you can just move out of the way. And even here he moved out late and Nona didn't die, so those are pretty much two completely wasted RM70 barrages. Considering he has a juicy target here, juicy target here, he had some juicy targets up top as well. I don't know. I really don't know why he went for the Nonas, honestly. The push at the bottom side, though, pretty much stalemated and has failed for the moment. But it's not really important for Blitz-War because he has gained a decisive advantage at the top side. Strela 10M dying at the top side. That's painful. It was pushed way too far forward. That was extremely aggressive. The Einsatzgruppe getting killed. Now infantry finally moving up. But it might be way too late now. By the way, one of the coups still not reloaded. Good god. Like, if you buy a coup, I always tend to buy an MTLB with it together. Especially now that rockets are even more expensive. Well, it's even more important to have the supply nearby. So this is a pretty grave mistake. It doesn't seem to notice it. No infantry left in the center, basically. Yeah, only the Strela 2M. But again, it doesn't really matter that much. Well, he brought in Desant Niki and unloaded it and gave the truck to the Desant commander, but it's not moving into the zone. And Blitz-War is now 200 points ahead. It's just quite a lot on Hesse duel. Remember, it's one of the new maps, so not a lot of zones. MiG-29 engaging the MiG-21. Yeah, MiG-29 wins this engagement like 9 out of 10 times. Flies over the AA though, but it's only one coup. If it would have been two coups, oh never mind, it gets killed by the Strela 10M actually. Okay, nice. Yeah, the GoldenPanzer just really seems like he doesn't know what to do. Infantry in the center just moving up without any support, and one T-55 stops him without any issues. Another T-55 flying in wait. Two recon squads being deployed here. Don't really know why. The Desant commander finally moving up and recapturing the top sector, but this will put Blitz-War almost 300 points ahead. GoldenPanzer is in a really bad position, and there's 20 minutes that have already gone by in the game. The longer the game goes, the harder it will just get. RM70 not even fully reloaded, targeting an empty field, still trying to gun a battery. Why? This such juicy infantry targets. Why do you want to count a battery the Nonas? Sedge. Bottom side still completely empty, by the way. Yeah, you could, if you could have preserved his SPWs here, you could have been flanking it. Okay, to be fair, the Nonas have their heat shell, but he still could have tried something with them. Using the half-empty RM70 is definitely against Nonas is definitely not the play. Though there's a pretty big unit concentration on the top side for Blitz-War now. A coup even coming in. Those are yeah, all his 4 coups, because the one has been killed by the seat. This one is turned off. This one isn't. Okay. MiG-27 AT flying around. Though the AA net of Blitz-War is fairly decent, with 3 coups and Strela 10Ms and Strela 2Ms sprinkled in between. So, yeah, there's still Strela 2Ms left at the top side. Helicopter here in a... Well, it would be in a nice position if it would be flying, but it's landed for the moment. That's not really helpful. BRDM2 coming in at the bottom side. A decent idea to just protect himself against flanking maneuvers against his Nonas. More infantry coming into the center. No. Why? Okay, to be fair, the Spetsnaz are going up top. That's a good idea, but 4 infantry squads in BMDs to the bottom side is just a massive overinvestment. He needs to protect the top side, otherwise he will lose it again. And oh, by the way, SPW at the top side was trying to sneak behind the enemy lines again. FS Jäger gets destroyed, but yeah, he really needs to protect his top side so that he doesn't lose it again at this point. This is obviously a really bad position to be in as 35th, but if he wants to come back, he now has to pretty much play it like you would any other division and to grind your way back slowly, or at least try to do it. Not like you're out of ammo, just driving towards the enemy. And Nonnas are also being used at a way too high range. Like, look at this. Way too high range, not upvetted. That's gonna make the Nonnas really not that good. Nonnas are good at close range, high vet. That's where they really shine. Other than that, it's just standard, pretty much weak, low caliber artillery. And yeah, now command vehicle coming in, LGB bombs one. Das ist even a Sicherungssquad. It might have a bomb Sicherungssquad and oh, it was just a Sicherungssquad. That's a really bad target for an LGB. Mot Schützen SVD is a bit better, but even then, you're just sending in 300-point planes to kill off 50-point infantry squads while your enemy is just getting more and more of them in. I mean, he could have tried to use the infantry here or drive the infantry in more aggressively, but yeah, that would have been risky. But on the other hand, he's completely losing the top side, so he needs to go for a risky play. Like, either you do what I said before, the grind your way back in, or you just full send on one side of the map and hope to catch your enemy off guard. But in this case, he's kind of trying to do both. He tried to reinforce the top side, but then didn't do it good enough, or stopped at some point, even though there was nothing going on at the bottom side. And he saw action going on at the top side, and then he brought some infantry in, but doesn't have any offensive capabilities at the bottom side, so really disjointed just actions here by GoldenPanzer, unfortunately. And Blitz-War really seems to be taking the game. Pioneer will now kill off the Descent Comroti. BMD2 might get an SPW, but at this point this is really not the things GoldenPanzer wants to kill. Akula, by the way, also low HP, needs to be healed up. Like, he needs to get in somewhere, maybe at least at his own point. Infantry now coming in, but it's a bit too late. Should have coded in way earlier. And yeah, I think he just over-invested into his air and then used it for the wrong targets. Mi-24 now being coded in fairly aggressively, though Australia at 10M out of position for now, but gets moved in instantly. Yeah, Blitz-War really reacting quickly in this case. Pretty much only had super bad decisions with the RM70. Everything else was pretty decent, and yet the opener with the SPWs was also weird. But other than that, played a good game. Infantry in the center now moving forward. B-25 seat coming in, kills off for one coup. Gets killed by the Strela 2M and the Strela 10M and 2M, and then gets killed. Oh no. Like, in this case, the only way your air would save you if you would have like an overwhelming advantage in planes and you could just fly over the front line and eat everything alive, but he can't even do that because he doesn't have that many planes, and now the SPW sneaking into the backline. Oh, this is... Oh god, this is horrible. Getting into the backline of an airborne division is really... that's really bad. Akula though being rerouted very quickly. BRDM being coded in to recapture the sector. Spetsnaz moving in, but I mean they would just instantly be killed by the T-55 and they cannot do anything against it. Also the SPWs, very strong tools, as I have shown in well, it's not my recent video, but one of my recent videos. SPWs are very, very good vehicles, never underestimate them. Yeah, they can just, look at them, they can just bully the Spetsnaz and literally nothing they can do. Akula kills off the SPW, of course, but Blitz-War is now so much ahead. And yeah, GoldenPanzer just seems like he has no way of coming back in. Really, maybe hoping to find a weak spot, but he has waited for way too long. Like, look at this. The town here has already been reinforced because this is the next obvious advance of your enemy, and Blitz-War smartly reinforced it with his own infantry and SPWs, and that's it. Yeah, so funnily enough, a pretty bad opener by Blitz-War, but then over the course of the game just made the way better decisions, and GoldenPanzer couldn't take advantage of his enemy's weaknesses and didn't realize the moment and grab the initiative when he could have early on when he stopped the rush. Well, not the rush, but the opener advance. Yeah, you can see. I mean, the BTRD robot killed 4 SPWs, which is a actually pretty good kill list for a robot because it's itself I think 40 points, and every SPW now is yeah also 40 points, so that's good. And MI24 VP also getting a bunch of kills. And Nona's actually getting 2 packs, a 120 mil and a Fago, yeah. So decent. Conquerors here getting a bunch of kills. And yeah, BMD sniping 2 units in their transports. Pretty good. I mean, interestingly enough, GoldenPanzer actually had more kills, which is surprising. I really would have thought it was the other way around. But yeah, that's mostly yeah, you can see a shit ton of like SPWs and SPW 70s and SPW 60. What's the other one? SPW 40. It's a bunch of recon vehicles, but the infantry just kept pushing his infantry out of everything. Really, really well done by Blitz-War, I'm gonna say. Any hero units on his side? Yeah, not really, I think. Yeah, his units actually, on a unit-to-unit basis, actually performed worse. But overall, he just played it better. He picked his vectors of attack better and just overwhelmed his enemy. And I mean, look at the LGB. Like this is a very horrendous kill list for an LGB. This one also. So yeah, really, I think also over-investing in air and not using it to its fullest extent. But nice game anyway. Hope you liked it too. And I will see you in the next one, which will be game 2 between those players. Until next time, have a beautiful day and bye bye.